What's up, YouTube people? What's going on with you guys? So, let's get into the nitty gritty. Making this video, still thinking about what I want to talk about. So, we'll see where this one goes. One thing I want to touch on, though, is the importance of studying. I don't know if I touched on this in other videos or not, but if I haven't, best believe we're gonna touch on it now because, oh Lord, have mercy. It's important. I think I've said this before, but one of the hardest things about flying or just becoming a pilot is studying, and that's just for me, and like almost everybody else that I know, with the exception of like 2 or 3 people. Studying is the hardest part, and it's not even sitting down and reading the book. It's remembering everything. I mean, just yesterday I was studying for my instrument rating, right? And there's this book called Instrument Oral Exam Guide. Fair enough. So what I like to do is I like to go through there and supplement. I like to go through and read, have it help supplement my knowledge. So if I don't know something, you can go in there, read it, check it out, see what you need. The problem is that there is so much shit in there. I mean, crap in there, and it gets annoying because so this book has it's a relatively small book. Like it's not like the PHAC. It's pretty small. But I was studying for maybe I was probably in the book for maybe two hours, 2.5 hour, 2 hours. Okay, 1.5 hours. My bad, 2 hours. And I only got 3/4 of the way through section 1, and this book has 5 sections. And it's not even the fact that it's a hard read or something. Like honestly, if I was to just read it, I could have it done in probably like an hour at the most. But it's the fact that you gotta, you want to write this stuff down. You want to get it into your memory. You really want to think about it, digest it, inhale it, drink it. You really want to get it in. And so you're just trying to take in all this knowledge, and what you actually end up doing is just regurgitating it, and it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, guys. So yeah, yeah. So studying is really important. For those of you guys who are starting off with no hours, or you don't have any licenses yet, if you guys are gonna go from PPL to CFI with intentions of becoming an airline pilot, here's what I recommend. Don't put gaps in your training. That's going to cost you a lot of money, because what happens is, I'll take myself for example, right? So I passed my PPL in June, early June, right? And then I started flight training here June 27th. Okay, so there was maybe 2-3 weeks that I was not flying, and I wasn't really even thinking about aviation. I was studying my IFR stuff a little bit, but I wasn't really getting into it. And then I come back, and my knowledge for PPL is just like, well, dang, like how did I pass the oral, And it's not because I don't know it, just because you never think about it anymore. I mean, when you don't have a reason to, why would you waste your time? You're not going to just sit there and think to yourself, all right, well, I'm enjoying this video game, but let me think about the side model, or what is the clearances or the visibility requirements for Class B airspace. You don't think about that crap. That's not necessarily stuff that I forgot, but it was mainly, I forgot more of the reg stuff. I mean, I'm back on it now, but yeah, so if you guys are doing PPL to CFI, just knock it all out at once. Like, don't do PPL and then, wait, 3 months to start IFR and then, kind of hobble it around. Unless, like, you're in a situation where you have to do that. But if you can, just take it from PPL all the way to the end. Just knock it out. You'll have a nice, smooth flow, and you'll just build on your knowledge. Because in PPL, what you're doing really is establishing a foundation for your knowledge. That's really what it is. Because when you're going through PPL, some of the crap that you have to know, it seems a little extra. But then when you get to IFR just builds on it. It's like building a house, basically. The PPL gives you a nice, good, solid foundation if you really put your work into it. And then all the other ratings just build the rest of the house, so that you have a really nice house when you're done the training, guys. And the only way you're gonna get that nice house is if you study. And not just study, but remember it. And that's where it gets hard. You just gotta, I'm almost hypocrite right now, because I study a lot, but it's like remembering it, man. And so, you know what? It sucks even more is I don't really know whether or not I remember it until I'm asked the question, because I can study for 5 hours. DC-10 just flew past us. Cool. Anyways, so I can study for like 5 hours, right? And like 2 hours later, I have no idea what I read. Like, I cannot remember it. And so that's why I'm like, did I just waste 5 hours of my time? And I know a lot of you guys are gonna say studying for 5 hours is too much. For me personally, studying for 5 hours is a new thing. Typically, when I study, I cram like big time. Which you shouldn't do that when you're flight training, because you need to actually remember this stuff, not just pass a test. But I'm just being honest, you know, sometimes that's my main setting, is I just cram. So now I'm trying to break out of that, but in the process of me trying to break out of cramming, I'm still studying for hours on end, which is fine with me, because to me, I really don't really notice it. But yeah, so you guys just make sure you remember it, you know, as you're going through. I guess one thing you could do is as you're going through and writing stuff down and going through your notes, make questions like on what are those cards called? Those flashcards. Yeah, those. Make like questions on your flashcards about stuff that you've been reading, and then maybe 3 hours later, you know, kind of review those flashcards so you remember, because it's about getting it into that long term. I mean, once you get it into your long term memory, it doesn't become an issue. It's like when somebody asks you, how does a plane fly, before you know anything, you're like, I don't really know. But then when you get to IFR and somebody asks, well, how does a plane fly, you can just start it off like that, not even thinking about it, you know. So yeah, I'd recommend that. What I do is when I make my notes, I handwrite them, and then I go into the computer and I hand type them. So that gives my mind 2 times to taking what I do. And when I do my hand notes, I summarize everything that I was reading, so that it's easier for me to understand it. And then when I do my typing up the notes, I kind of organize it better, and I put them into categories, so that when I need to know something or when I need to read it, it's just all right there. It's easy, it's simple. And what's nice is if you do this, and this is what I did for my PPL, if you do this, you can take all these notes, and if you have them organized, you can maybe the night or two before just go through all these notes, get them in your head, and then when your oral examination comes, you know everything. So that's what's beautiful about it. Also, what I recommend doing is, if you guys are prepping for your oral, understand your weak points and make note of them. Because remember, guys, you can use any, I think it's FAA authorized material during your oral examination. So if you know you are sucky in weather theory, what you should do is, you know, just have maybe a like a placard type thing, you know, of areas that you're bad in and where you can quickly reference them. So that way, if you get asked a question during your oral and you are not too sure, look at your card, find where it's at, look it up, get the answer. Because I'm telling you guys, do not BS in your orals. That is not the time, guys. When I was asked questions I didn't know, I wasn't gonna lie. I was like, yo, bro, I don't know it. And then when you don't know it, just find the answer and then move on. But don't try to make stuff up, because these examiners have been flying for 10, 20, 30, 40 plus years, right? So first off, they can look in your eyes and tell you're lying, right? I mean, you can't lie to them about airplanes. That's like telling me we don't need air to breathe, you know? It's not gonna work. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna try to keep this one short. Yeah, so just make sure you guys steady, you know. Find your steady habit, find your groove, because understand that you have a lot of money on the line when you go into your flight training. You don't want it to go to waste. It's not good for you. It's not good for your instructor. It's not good for the examiner. It's just bad for everybody. So get it right the first time. Oh, see, yo, if you guys like back it up like 5 seconds or like 10 seconds now. There's like a DC. I think it was a DC-10 that just flew past us. We have them going out to the mountains right now to put out some forest fires. I think we have a TFR over in that area too. It's really cool, guys. Anyways, I have to head out because I need to go and start my day at a Taipei. So I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.